Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Yeah.
3 steps to take right now if your stock crashes. That's what we're talking about today, guys. What's up, everyone? My name is Ale and welcome to My World of Finance. A subscriber asked me a very important question recently, and he said that he invested a ton of money into a very speculative stock that was overhyped by a bunch of people. Well, it turns out that that stock eventually crashed, and now he's wondering what to do. And so I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what I would do if one of my biggest stocks crashed, and even what I have done in the past, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my past. And listen, guys, I will continue to make mistakes in the stock market. Everyone makes mistakes. So maybe the pre-step that you should take is to just acknowledge the fact that everyone makes mistakes. Don't beat yourself up about it. You need to learn from it and move forward. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, how to learn from it and how to move forward. Now, step 1 is to start over, go back to the basics and research the stock. Okay, we're essentially starting from scratch. Now, all the time that you spent on this earth learning how to evaluate stocks, learning how to look at the company and look at their income statement, their balance sheet, their finances, their ratios, reading about what analysts are saying, what are people saying, what is management saying, why did you invest in this company in the first place, and are they still headed in that direction, or are they headed somewhere completely different? In my case, my number 1 biggest stock is Nintendo, and I invested in them because of their hybrid console. Now, if that console was performing very poorly in terms of sales and it was bringing down the stock, then I'd have to look at the company and see, are they doing anything else? Is there anything else that can make up for that poor performing segment? And if that segment is actually doing very well, if that console was selling very well, which it actually is, but if it's doing very well, then why is the stock crashing? In other words, this is the step where you reevaluate the entire company. You don't just look at the stock, you look at the company. What are they doing? And why have investors lost confidence? And is it a big enough reason for you to lose confidence as well? And that leads us to step 2, which is to ask yourself this question. Would you still open a new position in this company if you didn't already have one? In other words, if Nintendo stock crashed right now, would I still invest in Nintendo? Would I buy Nintendo stock right now if I wasn't already invested in Nintendo? You have to remember, this is all completely based on step 1. In step 1, you did all your homework, you did all your research. You should know everything about the company now, and you should know how you feel about the company. You should either feel good about them or bad. And so if you answer this question with yes, I like everything that I saw in step 1, I like everything about the company, everything that they're doing, I like the product that they're selling, the service that they're selling, I like the direction that the company is headed, and I feel confident in buying the stock right now, then you should probably keep the stock or maybe even buy more. But if your answer is no, you don't like the things that you saw in step 1, whatever in my case, in Nintendo, the console is selling poorly and they don't really have anything else going for themselves, and so you don't feel confident about them at all, well, then it might be time to sell. Think about it. If you're not confident enough to buy the stock right now, then what are you doing leaving your money in there in the first place? Don't just leave your money in there because you're scared of taking a loss, because you're scared of selling low and losing money. If you don't like the company, you don't like what they're doing, the product that they're selling, the service that they're selling, the direction that they're headed, take your money out of there, put it into a stock, into a company that you do feel confident about, that you do like what they're doing, and you do like the direction that they're headed. And that leaves us with step 3, which is to take action. You did all your research, you did all your homework in step 1. In step 2, you answered the question, would you open a new position at these lower prices? Now it's time to take action. Are you going to sell the stock, cut your losses, take the money and put the money somewhere else that you feel more confident? Or are you going to hold the stock based on everything you've seen, you feel that it can bounce back? Or are you going to do kind of a third option? Are you going to do what I usually do, which is, if I invest in a company, it's usually for a really good reason. In my case, Nintendo has actually been performing very poorly the last couple months. And so what I've been doing is I've been buying more. Okay, I've been adding to my position and I've been lowering my cost basis. Basically, the price that I pay per share on average, I lower that price every time that I buy on dips. And that's because I don't see any reason to get out of Nintendo stock. I think nothing has really changed. None of their fundamentals have changed. None of their core businesses have changed. None of their direction has changed. The reason why I invested in Nintendo is because that hybrid console, it's been selling incredibly well, yet their stock has been performing poorly. There's other reasons which I could get into, in a whole other video. I have gotten into it in other videos. But overall, the reason why I'm invested in them, it's all still there. I still like everything I see, so I lower my cost basis by buying more. This is a decision that you need to make now in step 3, which is to take action. But I do just want to add one more thing, and that is to be cautious. Okay, maybe sleep on the decision a little bit. Don't make drastic decisions, because what I often see is that people will buy a stock when it's overly hyped, okay? And so it's very high in terms of price. They'll buy it, and then the stock starts coming down. And then you hear everybody coming out of nowhere, don't catch a falling knife, don't catch a falling knife. Basically telling you to sell, okay? Because they're saying it's gonna keep going down, it's gonna keep going down. And in many cases, it comes right back up. In many cases, it bounces up. Not all the time. Sometimes it is good advice to not catch a falling knife, okay? If they really have changed everything and they're gonna keep crashing, then they're gonna keep crashing, you need to get out, okay? But this is why you do your homework, this is why you do your research. But in some cases, it actually does bounce back up. And so when they're telling you, don't catch a falling knife, you end up repeating the same pattern over and over. You buy when it's hyped and everybody's telling you to buy it, and you sell when everybody's telling you not to catch a falling knife, and you end up selling low. So you buy high and you sell low, which is the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do in the stock market. You're supposed to buy low and you're supposed to sell high, okay? So that's usually what you're supposed to do. But who cares what I think? It matters what you guys think. So let me know if you guys have ever been in this situation before, or if you're in this situation right now, let me know what's going on, what's going through your head. Do you use a similar process to the one that I use, or do you have your own custom strategy? And in which case, I'd love to hear all about it. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, all you got to do is hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful day, and you take care. Bye.